Welcome to spring. Honestly, sometimes it's the little things in life that amuse me. It's an egg spiral to store your fresh eggs in. I mean, it's just rewarding. I gotta be honest. They get stuck, but it's still rewarding. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, here's what my weekend's gonna be. 5 yards of mulch for all the different gardens throughout the house area and gardens. So, starting with some new rose bushes. The ones we had constantly had disease, so we're trying some new ones this year. We put cardboard down around them just to try to cover some of the old leaves that we may not have been able to get up, that may have had some black spot on them. And then we're going to start our spraying regimen. We sprayed once, we'll spray weekly. Try to keep on that this year to try to get some nicer roses than we've had in years past. A couple shrubs torn out, trying to figure out what to do in this area. If anybody has any ideas, feel free to let us know. Oh boy, so as I sit here building an extension to my chicken run, there's Mrs. Fox just wandering around the neighborhood like there's no problem. She's been coming around the yard all day, and she is not afraid of humans. Fisher chased after her, had to yell at him, and luckily she ran away when he went after her, but it must be close to cubbing season, or pupping season, or kidding season, because she has no fear and is just looking for food. Well, let me tell you, I sure wish I had switched to the pneumatic stapler earlier. Staples aren't as nice, not as rugged, but certainly a lot easier to put a few extra in when needed. I mean, it just is so much quicker and easier than using the hammer and staple. All right, well, second week of April, and the trees are fully out in the garage, leafed out in the garage, unfortunately. There's no stopping them now, so turn the light on to help green them up a little bit. Gonna try to get them out here. The 10-day forecast looks pretty good for the foreseeable future, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Every year, it looks like it's going to be good this time of year, and then every year we get hit with a late frost that kills all new growth on the fig trees. So we're going to take them out, but not move them too far. Not going to move them to the back orchard. Close enough to where if we have to get them back in a rush, we can. This weekend, I know it's supposed to get down to the high 30s. As long as there's not going to be a frost, we should be okay. Just got to keep an eye on the temperature, the wind, the humidity, dew point, all that, and see what we can do. So just using my cart here, move them out to the driveway. And giving a well overdue trim to my improved Celeste. I was too lazy to go get my Sawzall, so I'm just using the shovel. The Sawzall's so much easier. On the next ones, I'm just trying to do this quick tonight. The next ones I will definitely use the Sawzall as opposed to the shovel. Alright, she is all potted up and ready for the growing season. I will find some slow release fertilizer. I do need to add that. Need to add that to all my trees, but I'm going to try to do some root pruning this year on a lot of them. Always a fun time here in Pennsylvania. It's time to up-pot some of the seeds I started. These are some marigold seeds that I need to move into larger containers to give them some room to grow. It's actually 83 degrees here in Pennsylvania today. Stuff's starting to green up and it's looking nice, so hard to beat that. But yeah, all I do is I take one of my watering spigots, an extra one I had laying around, make a little hole in here, and then see if I can pull one of these out without breaking it. Just like so. You can see the roots are starting to fill in there, so time to up-pot into a hole, pack it down a little bit, and we're good. Rinse and repeat a lot of times. And doing some peas that I started. Nice little root balls on them. I'm gonna put them in this hanging pot here, and I've got some extra marigolds. I'll pot up the peas and some marigolds in here to, the peas will grow in the spring, and then they'll kind of wither out here as the weather warms, and hopefully the marigolds will take over in this hanging pot. Well, we've got a new toy to play with. It's a Greenworks Pro 60 volt electric lawnmower. Ended up getting this because Teresa was having trouble pull starting the gas mower. She actually likes to mow the lawn, but was struggling to get the mower started. So bought this, and now it turns on as easily as pulling a lever and pushing a button. And definitely some pros and cons to it. You can see it does a decent job. It definitely doesn't have the power. As a gas mower, you wouldn't want to let the grass grow, a foot high and then try to use this. But it is nice and quiet. You don't have to wear earmuffs like I feel like you do with or should with a gas mower. It does last about our whole yard, which is about a quarter of an acre or so, minus where we have the fig trees. And it does a pretty good job. I can show you here real quick. We got the self-propelled version. And, the grass isn't real tall now, but it does a decent job. And the mulch, we're using the mulcher on it, and it does a much better job than my rider mower when it comes to mulching. So, overall, pretty happy with it. It was $4.99. I'll see if I can find a link and put it in the description below. But, yeah, overall, so far, pretty happy with it. Pure functionality, I would stick with a gas mower, but if you've got a wife that likes to mow, Teresa so far has really enjoyed the ease of the electric lawnmower. And this one comes with 2 batteries. So usually what I do is I have the 2 in here, and once I go through the one, I can always go in, pop it on the charger, and then use the second one. And then once the second one is done, go get the first one that was on the charger and, rinse and repeat. So far, though, it's pretty much done our whole lawn, so we haven't needed to do it. I did see if I do up and down the hill using the self-propel, it drains the battery pretty quick. But if I go sideways in a more flat angle, it lasts quite a while. I actually haven't gone all the way through the batteries in this direction yet. Going up the hill, I probably got about half of this done, along with the front and side yards. So, something to keep in mind if you've got a large yard, might not be the right thing for you. But for a small yard, it's actually pretty easy, and it folds in half easily and stows upright. It doesn't take up much space in the garage, which is nice when you're trying to store a lot of fig trees in there. What you doing, Teresa?
Planting.
Planting what? Wheat seed. Basically gonna make some wheat sprouts for the girls. You can see they're not happy to be locked out of this little area, but we're gonna give this a few days. It should sprout. It shouldn't take too long, and then once it begins to sprout, we'll move this pen over a little bit and start the process over, but give them access to the sprouts in here as a nice little treat. Keep them busy and have a little fun with it. They, as you can tell, they love the wheat seeds. I think they'll like to be able to play in the little wheatgrass area just as much. So, gonna give it a try. Wheat seeds, had to soak them. You're supposed to soak them for at least 6 hours. We soaked them overnight. And now we're just gonna put them down, and then I'm just going to rake it in a little bit. Nothing too formal, just to try to bury them a little bit, and then just get them covered with some soil. And we'll see how this works out. Just a rough plant. Whatever they don't eat, or I'm sorry, whatever doesn't sprout, some of the seeds on top there, they will get once we remove the pen. And as you can tell, they are going around fitting as far in as they can, trying to grab those seeds. A lot of fun to watch. What are we doing today, Teresa?
I'm up-potting my cucumber over there.
Nice.
And I'm up-potting some zinnias.
Nice.
And that's about it.
Okay, and we moved a lot of stuff inside today. We've had some nice weather, but it's supposed to get down. There's an actual freeze warning for tonight into Monday. But the greenhouse is really coming along. A lot of flowers are taking off nicely. The petunias are doing great. That little gubby has been really nice to have to let me know when it's getting too cold or too hot in the greenhouse. But yeah, overall, things are going pretty well. We've got some marigolds, and the figs are starting to leaf out real nicely here. You can see this guy, I'm trying to remember, it's not I-258. What's the name? It's escaping me. It is Genovese Nero. Actually just realized that plant tag's too tight. I gotta loosen that. But you can see it's got a real nice braba on it over there. And that's probably gonna ripen in the greenhouse. The greenhouse does real well with brabas, where most of them drop when I bring the plants straight from the garage to outside. But yeah, it's beautiful in here. It's 45 degrees outside, 80 degrees in the greenhouse. So, boy, it's a joy to have on these cold days.